Good morning, everyone. It's Cynthia here with your daily tarot card of the day. Thank you so much for being here and joining me today. I truly appreciate you. This week we are using the Herbal Tarot, and I have information about this deck in the description box below if you're interested in looking it up. And please know that these messages are timeless, so whenever you happen to find this video, there's likely a message here for you. I invite you to tune in to your own intuition, to your own higher self, to your own spirit guides, and see what impressions that you get for yourself. But for whatever card comes up and for whatever messages that I happen to pick up from the card and bring through, please just take what resonates and leave the rest. If there's a useful little tidbit, by all means, own it. And if for whatever reason it doesn't seem to be sitting with you right now, that's quite all right. Set it aside. Today's energy. Seven of Swords. Wild Bettany. I'm definitely getting a sense here with this Seven of Swords of calming the nerves, clearing out the mental space, possibly communicating or putting something into action. So whereas these swords representing that mental energy, the ideas, or something being sort of out in the ethers, right? Communication that we're waiting for somebody to respond to, or something that we've received and we are waiting on ourselves to feel comfortable enough to respond to. We got a letter, we got a message or whatever. We kind of put that on the to-do list, but we haven't yet responded, right? This is all of the stuff that's literally up in the air, that we're waiting or that we're not working with at the moment. These two are down in the ground. These ones have been grounded. So there's a certain amount of, if we're feeling anxious, nervous, sleepless, tense, paying attention to sleep patterns, doing something to ground ourselves or release the nervous tension or activities of that nature, whether it be a tactic of brain dumping all of the ideas. Sometimes we have so much going on in our head, it can kind of be overwhelming. And it's not that we have to make a to-do list of everything that we like to think that we're going to accomplish today, but sometimes we just have to brain dump the whole thing and get it out of our heads so that we can focus on what are the 4 or 5 most important things for today. You know what I mean? Or this is my usual schedule and this is my usual to-do list. What are the 2 things that are most immediate, most important that I need to add to that in order to focus on or move something forward? So it's talking about taking a very practical approach to sort of I'm hearing the phrase steadying the wobble. So if your energy feels a little off center or a little wobbly or a little pushed in one direction or another, very easily, it could be some kind of a technique that you use in order to sort of recenter and ground yourself. Um, but in terms of like thoughts and communications and things of that nature, again, it's like pinpointing on like a, a priority, or at the very least, like what's the most at hand, what's the closest to important thing, either the thing that's appears to be most important, or definitely the thing that you're most passionate about. I am passionate about never thinking about that thing again, so I'm going to get it taken care of because I know it's a one and done. You know what I mean? Or I'm passionate about doing this, and I know there's a deadline on that, but I'm not really feeling it right now. So I'm going to go with what I'm passionate about right now, because when that tapers off, or as I'm going along, I might be inspired to take care of that thing. You'll know that it flows easier if you follow with your gut instincts. So there could be something specific in terms of either communication or taking one of these many ideas and actually grounding them out, actually taking an action or a stance on something in order to get it to move forward. So yeah, there seems to be a lot of swift moving and potentially overwhelming energy. Um, Making sure that we have patience and diplomacy when we're interacting with certain things, but even when we're interacting with ourselves, sometimes we're not diplomatic enough with ourselves. Well, I'm supposed to do these things even though I don't want to do any of them, but I really want to do this thing. And then we sit there and do nothing because we feel guilty if we do the thing we want to do, and yet we feel uninspired to do the things that we think we're supposed to do. And so we sit there and twiddle our thumbs and distract ourselves with overwhelming anything, right? This could be a call to, look differently at how we're approaching that situation. There's the deadlines and the schedules and the quote unquote have to do or should do list. And then there's the passion list. Well, at the very least, go for the passions without feeling guilty about it. Because if you engage with your passions, you're more likely to be open to engage with or complete or not worry about, at the very least, the things that other people tell you you're supposed to be worried about. Your schedule, your deadlines, your whoever, says you're supposed to do these things and you're supposed to have A, B, C, D, or do this, that, the other thing. And this is you turning around and saying, okay, that's your opinion. My heart wants to do this. That's what I'm supposed to follow my heart. I'm supposed to follow my bliss. So, just shifting your approach a little bit, even if you engage with a passion project or a hobby or something you really enjoy for only an hour or two, and then get on with your quote unquote to-do list. You know what I mean? Or if you've got something on your schedule, an appointment or something where you have to make that phone call or send that email or do that virtual meeting or go to that party, that's all well, good, and fine. Take an hour beforehand or the hour before you have to leave for that engagement and do something that you're passionate about. That's going to lift you up, because then when the time comes for you to go and engage with the thing that's on your calendar or your schedule or your to-do list, right? you're going to be a little bit lighter. You might have a better attitude about it. You know what I mean? And that's going to make it run a little bit smoother. And if it happens to be challenging in any way, your uplifted attitude, walking into it with that uplifted attitude, might actually make a solution clearer to you once you're there, if that makes sense. So there's this opportunity really for stress relief, for being kind to yourself, which helps you to be kind of objective and diplomatic and or downright kind and benevolent to others, if you can give that to yourself. And releasing the stress of some of the overwhelm by actually just pinpointing one or two things that you can take action on, even if it's a small, tiny little action, or ground an idea out by writing it down on paper, or a voice recording a note for yourself, or something of that nature. So we're talking about very simple, straightforward action steps that they might appear minute, but if they're done with the right attitude, they will make great waves insofar as this thing fits in your universe. So never underestimate even the smallest of steps when those small steps are done with the right attitude. And I think that's the biggest message for today. Especially if you're feeling overwhelmed, or if you're feeling a little bit stressed out, or if you're planning your week ahead or what have you, and you're feeling a bit tense about things. Wonderful. Enjoy the rest of your day. Wishing you lots of peace and blessings. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you have any insights, wisdom, or ideas that you'd like to share, by all means, feel free to use that comment section below. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow.